She walked into the upstairs restroom, but something felt off. She didn't close the door, didn't act like herself. Not at all.
She dropped her pants like no one was there. No shame, no pause, no moment to spare. Like a man would stand, cold and proud. She didn't whisper, she spoke aloud. I looked at Dad, he looked at me. The air was thick, too strange to breathe. I whispered low, why she acting like that? He shook his head, I don't know. Not like she, not like that. This ain't her voice, this ain't her soul. Something's taking quiet control. She says she's someone we don't know, a stranger in a form we hold. She walks like him, talks like a man, but we know she, that's not who I am. The spirit speaks with borrowed skin, but we won't let it win. Now downstairs, mom just lingered low, like the stairs were locked, like they told her no. She wouldn't cross, wouldn't even try, like something there had blocked her mind. We stepped to the door, looked inside. Dad has gently tried not to cry. Why you standing like that? You need to sit, but a scream cut sharp, wouldn't quit. No, why should I sit like a girl? Her voice shook walls, broke our world. I'm a man, only women sit. That wasn't she, that wasn't it. Dad turned quiet, face gone pale. He said, take care of your sister, I'll call for help. I nodded slow, heart in my throat. Trying to breathe, trying to cope. This ain't her voice, this ain't her soul. Something's taking quiet control. She says she's someone we don't know, a stranger in a form we hold. She walks like him, talks like a man, but we know she, that's not who I am. The spirit speaks with borrowed skin, but we won't let it win. I sat her down, tried to be calm. Tell me when you're done, I held my palm. She just nodded, empty stare, like her soul was floating somewhere. I stepped out, leaned on the wall, felt every second like 1,000 calls, till the door creaked open soft and low, and I helped her back, slow and cold.
I walked her back to the red couch again. Her body was weak, but not her name. And deep down I knew the truth to face. This wasn't just sheer, this was something in her place.
I sat her back down on the red couch, heart pounding slow like the air was thick. Downstairs, Dad had already called the grandpas. Something strange is happening, he said. He stayed with Mom. But up here, I was alone with she.
Her left hand covered her eyes, not hiding shame, but like she couldn't face the light. Then she whispered, voice soft but wrong, who are you? Like she didn't know her own song. I said, I'm your brother though, don't you remember? Yeah. But she looked right through me like I was nothing but a stranger. She said, but you don't look like my brother. And something in my chest gave way, because how could she not know me when I knew every line of her face? Lost in her gaze, but she doesn't see me. Her voice is strange, like someone else speaks. Her hand on her face, eyes hidden tight, but her words, they cut like knives in the night. Who are you? Who are you inside that shell? This isn't she, it's something else came and it fell. I whispered, who are you? and what have you done to my sister? But she didn't look, just yelled instead, I want my brother and that bitch. I froze, cause I had no idea who she meant. No clue what twisted memory she kept. I said again, I am your brother. But she shook her head and refuted me. She said, no, you are not my brother. My brother looks like me, and he's married to that bitch. My heart dropped, because none of that made sense to me. Lost in her games, but she doesn't see me. Her voice is strange, like someone else speaks. Her hand on her face, eyes hidden tight, but her words, they cut like knives in the night. Who are you? Who are you inside a shell? This isn't she, it's something else came and it fell. Just then, the front door clicked slow, and I heard footsteps down below. Two grandpas had finally arrived. Called him fear, called him dread. Their voices heavy coming upstairs, like thunder rolling through chilled air. I didn't know what we'd face next, only that this had crossed every line we knew. Her hand still covered her eyes, as if she refused to ever see us again. But that voice, unfamiliar and sharp, kept echoing questions of old hurt and pain. Lost in her gaze, but she doesn't see me. Her voice is strange, like someone else speaks. Her hand on her face, eyes hidden tight, but her words, they cut like knives in the night. Who are you? Who are you inside a shell? This isn't she, it's something else came and it fell. My grandpa stood at the bottom stair, faces pale, eyes full of worry. They didn't rush up like something kept them down there, like the house itself was heavy with fear. I stayed with she, heart torn and cold, her voice still mumbling stories untold. And in that hush, I knew this wasn't just fear. This was something more. Something wrong. Something not gone.
The air felt thick, like a stillness you can't breathe. My grandpas walked up the stairs towards she, slow and steady but unsure. Like they weren't walking into a room, but into a story that shouldn't be real. And while they talked with her up there, something strange walked downstairs with me.
I stepped down slow, heart still tight, and there she stood at the kitchen's light, back in that hallway where the air felt wrong. Her hands were together, folded calm. Too long. She saw me then, her face full of worry, eyes wide with fear, trembling in a hurry. She asked, why are they here? What's going on? But something wasn't fair. Yeah. Her voice was softer, but not quite her tone. It sounded familiar, but it wasn't her own. My heart fell deep, and I stood there grim, because I knew before I spoke a word, I said, you're not my mom. This house is quiet, but screaming inside. Shadows move where the light can't hide. Voices borrow from the ones we love, but nothing here is who they're made of. Mom walks like her, but she doesn't feel like her. Outside, fell to my knees in the yard, hands trembling, chest heavy and heart scarred. I prayed to the gods above, to my ancestors' spirits strong and tough. Please hear me now, we need your eyes. Something wrong is taking our home, it's inside our hearts, it's inside our bones. Words poured out, raw and loud, I begged for help, stood not proud but desperate, cause this fear was real. And nothing sleeping seemed willing to kneel. When I returned to that living hall, my grandpa stood beside she's fall. They looked at me with ragged breath, eyes full with unease, not just death. They said stay with her, we'll step outside. Their voices cracked, their hearts denied. They walked out slow, but not alone. Something trailed behind her in a quiet tone. And to our shock, Mom wasn't where we left her. Downstairs, she followed after them with a smile too wide, a tilt in her head, and her hands on both of their shoulders. She said, "What are you guys talking about?" Her voice too smooth, creepy in how it moved about. This house is quiet, but screaming inside. Shadows move where the light can't hide. Voices borrow from the ones we love, but nothing here is who they're made of. Mom walks like her, but she doesn't feel like her. She cries like her, but her soul isn't in her stir. Something wrong, something here is crawling in the air. Grandpa one step back, breath uneven. Grandpa two beside her, eyes wide and beaten. They both looked at each other, then they yelled in fear and disbelief. Nah, this ain't it, something is wrong. Their voices shook like thunderstruck. Their brows furrowed hard, deep and long. Call everyone, get the whole family here now. This isn't normal, and something wicked is here somehow. Their voices echoed down the hall, like the house itself began to call. And as the phone lines lit and rang, I knew this fight was far from done. Because what walked into our home wasn't just a spirit, it was hungry. And it wasn't leaving.
My grandpas ran back inside, pants heavy with fear, breaths cutting sharp. They burst through the door, rushing up the steps as if the air itself was chasing them. They asked Dad straight away, how did this happen? But none of us had answers, only the cracks in our voices.
Dad stood still, eyes wide and warm. Told him what happened that night. That call from Auntie came out of nowhere. She froze, vanished in her own skin. And Mom, her words didn't belong to her. Grandpa just stared, shaking their heads slow, like the storm had broken and no one knew where to go. We herded the younger kids to their rooms, telling them not to come out. Not yet, Mom, she wouldn't cross the stairs crease. Her feet stayed low like something held her to the kitchen floor.
The house kept breathing like a living thing. Dark corners whispering what we couldn't bring. Voices borrowed, bodies misplaced, shadows creeping, time displaced. She lies silent, but not at rest. And my mom stands quiet, but not like herself. We gathered here, hearts unsure, waiting for answers behind every door.
We stayed together, gathered close, telling the young ones just stay here, don't wrong. We locked the hall, shut out the night, but still felt eyes in every corner of the light. Minutes turned into whispers, hearts turned slow. We heard cars pull up, one by one they'd show. Relatives, neighbors, people drawn to fear, to the story that spread faster than any tear. Footsteps at the door, one by one they arrived, faces pale with confusion, some too brave, some already terrified. No one knew why they came, only that something dark had slipped inside.
House kept breathing like a living thing. Dark corners whispering what we couldn't bring. Voices borrowed, bodies misplaced, shadows creeping, time displaced. She lies silent, but not at rest. Mom stands quiet, but not like herself. We gathered here, hearts unsure, waiting for answers behind every door.
Grandpa's talked low in broken breaths, trying to piece how we ended up here. Dad just shook his head, eyes distant. Something crossed over, he said. Not just memory, not just grief, something alive and wrong.
The kids peeked out from closed doors, curious and scared, trying not to cry. No one dared move too fast, no one dared speak too loud, like sound itself could wake what shouldn't be loud.
And there we sat, the living and the not quite living under one roof, all waiting.
Cars lined up outside, people whispering in shadows. No one knowing quite what to say. Because the night, it had already begun.